I am Qyjon Clark, Qyjon The Icon, the artist name. Yeah, that's who I am.
And what do you do?
I'll say that. But I'm an artist. I'm a collage artist. So I take pictures. I hunt them down at old bookstores and things of that nature. Few books I get off the internet, and I take thousands of images and make one image. That's what I do. Yeah, as an artist.
And why images?
Well, for me, there's many different ideas, and the way I break it down is that, one picture is worth 1,000 words. So if I take 1,000 pictures and make them one image, okay, now that image should leave you speechless. It's worth 1,000,000 words. So that's why I'm drawn to collage. I don't like to paint. I don't like to draw. And also, there's a lot of images people don't see. So, when I do a civil rights piece, there's images people have not seen, and I know you haven't seen them, or I assume most people haven't seen them because they're not looking at these older books. So a lot of the materials that I use, it's necessary to bring that to the forefront. I do a lot of World War II pieces, and when I make a World War II art piece, I know that at school, we skipped over that. You know what I mean? You read the text, you didn't see the bodies, you didn't see the magnitude of the humanity that was lost. So that's why I like images, because a lot of images just get lost. You know what I mean? We scroll on our phones so much, like we really diminish the value of how powerful an image can be. Yeah. So for me, like as a collage artist, it's like, okay, it's my responsibility. Okay, let me show you why, the Black Panther is so powerful. Let me surround him by other images that show you just how powerful, that image was for the culture. You know what I mean? So there's many different reasons, but that's why I like collage, because images people don't appreciate, images I know people haven't seen, and just the pure power of an image we created. You know what I mean?
So how would you say over the time you've constructed your image, and more so like who is Qyjon the Icon? Like how did we get to this point?
Well, there's many different phases and levels, right? I'm still not known by the world, but I used to be a rapper, and rap really, well, I'll say it this way, art saved my life. I was very depressed as a youngster, you know what I mean? So around 14, I started making music, and then music got me over a hump for many, many, many years, almost like 10 years, But then my mentor, Dr. Ingram, if you look him up, he's on YouTube, Dr. Ingram, anger management specialist. I worked with him for some years, and I gave him my album. And he told me that the medium that I was choosing was too low of a vibration. I need to do something higher. He said, what I'm trying to fit into rap is too complex. He's like, you need to do something different. When I need to, he suggests I do something different. So then I had to look in the mirror, and ironically, what made me retire from rap was Tekashi 6ix9ine. What did he say? The line that made me just put down the pen for a couple of years was, what do you say? Niggas iffy, blicky, stiffy, 65 million views.
That's right. I think a lot of people might disagree with you.
After that, though, I started doing collage art, and that brought me to. I would say my mentor was right, because when people look at the art that I make and the images I try to bring to light, or the point I'm trying to make with the art, people do gravitate towards it more. So that's why I'm sticking with it. That's why I'm going with it. So that's what brought me to being Qyjon the Icon. I take a lot of the hip hop influence that I promoted an album before. I've made music videos before. I've created flyers before. I've organized shows before. So I just kind of take what I was trying to do as a rapper, gathering people together, get a fan base. Now I'm just transitioning that into the art world. I do think that we all know about how people are marginalized. I do think as a Black artist, I'm hitting certain walls, right? And I do think that it's unfair that if I said I was a rapper, but when I say I'm an artist, like, you know what I mean? Right. Didn't go to art school, didn't do none of the typical things. So it's a new challenge for me, but Qyjon the Icon is what I'm trying to break down those barriers within any barrier that I come up against in the art world. From my small perspective where I'm at now, I'm trying to break that down so that more people will feel comfortable not just being rappers, not just being dancers, but you can also be, you know, a collage artist, you know.
Can you talk a little bit about like creating through adversity? Like you talked about music carrying you for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
You know, what does that look like now, or what are you?
Yeah,
You know?
I can say this in there's no other way to say it. I definitely would have been dead if I didn't create art. Like there's no other reason for me to be alive, you know. And I found that out very early. I found that out around 15, 16. Like school didn't stimulate me, friends didn't stimulate me. You know, growing up in a certain way, when you don't have anybody, when you create things, you get to see like, oh, I have some type of power. So when you say create through adversity, when you're dealing with a lack of control of your life because you're a child, or you're dealing with lack of control because lack of resources, lack of education, you know, and you're given just a pen and a pad, and somebody grants you studio time, it's like, oh man, you know what I mean? I created this, you know what I mean? And then when you get to put your experiences into music and have other people connect to that, then, you know what I mean, that's priceless. That you can't even, you know, so if I never experienced me talking about being alone and then watching one of my friends get that head nod, you know what I mean? Or having people call me 6 months later like, yo, that song you wrote, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I just cried in the car, Having those experiences, that made me, that's what carried me. Like, okay, I'm here for a reason. I do have a purpose. And I can create something. And the power of creation alone, if you can do something with your own hands or your own mind, it's the most gratifying thing in the world, you know what I mean? Especially if it helps other people. So, you know, did I make a bunch of money off music? No, but the people that I did touch, or the fact that it's still out there, and people to this day, you know, I wrote songs 6, 7 years ago. People still message me, and I get a random message every now and then. Did you make this? I'm like, obviously, I made it. You know what I mean? But, well, help me through this. So, yeah, create through adversity for me, it definitely saved my life, because I would not know the power I possessed had I never made music and seen the effect it had on people. You know, I would never have thought to then make art to see the effect that it has on people. I mean, and affecting.
Who would you say influenced your art career?
Who influenced my art career? Well, besides my life experiences, I would have to say Kanye West. I remember when he made the Red Octobers, and I remember he had a rant about Nike, and his explanation of being a creator and not being marginalized or pigeonholed as just a rapper. Me as a rapper, you know what I mean, who wanted to do something else, I identified with that. And just sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of his quotes about not limiting your thoughts and about who you are, they just really resonated with me. I don't care about the celebrity or theatrics of Kanye West, but his artistic influence. For instance, whoever watches this video, I challenge you to watch, what's the video? I was sick at the awards, could nobody cure me, only player that got robbed, that kept all this jewelry. What's the name of the song?
Diamonds.
Diamonds, I challenge you to watch that video and try to place that in 2005. I want you to watch that video like, this is so 2000. That is timeless. You watch that video, you would think it could have been made at any moment. So yeah, Kanye West is one of my artistic influences, purely because of the lack of limitation on thought. That's what he taught me as an artist. Like, why limit yourself? Why limit yourself? You know what I mean? This structure behind me is like, what, 8 feet tall? You know what I mean? Why limit myself to something that's 4 feet? You know? So yeah, Kanye. You know, I listen to a lot of his older music, his newer music. Even the gospel album was inspirational. You know.
So would you say he influenced your music as well? Big time?
Not so much. I wasn't too big. He didn't influence my music too much. You know what I mean? For me, Kanye is a level of the level of all artists want to reach is the level of a concept where you are beyond your physical structure of who you are. So Kanye is more of like a concept to me. He doesn't really even exist. It's more so a thought pattern that he provokes when you look at him. So that's what he did for me, you know what I mean? As far as music, I was more influenced by Jay-Z when it came to music, because Jay-Z has a lot of subtle bars that you don't even understand until you're 26 and you paying your rent. You're like, that's what he meant on Reasonable Doubt when he said, you know what I mean? So I was always more of a Jay-Z, and then Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne influenced me, the punchlines and stuff like that, you know? But Kanye, just artistically, you know what I mean, always spoke to me more, you know.
When people see or hear about the Black identity evolution,
yeah.
what do you want them to get from that?
Well, when they see the video, because I made a video, Black Identity Evolution, which YouTube blocked because it's too black for YouTube, you know what I mean, which is a compliment and an insult at the same time. But what I want people to get when they watch the video is I want them to get the multiple dimensions of blackness. I think that there's parts of being marginalized and stereotyped that if you're not black, you don't understand, you know. So when you watch the video, even if you are a black person, I want you to get the multiple dimensions of being black. And then I want you to also recognize the 3 levels of thought. So the first level of thought, I bring up Malcolm X in the video, he speaks, and it's who taught you to hate yourself? That's across the board. Before you become educated and you get out of the mindset that was forced upon you, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that they give you, prejudices, biases, whatever that is. That's the first level of thought. The second level of thought is I bring you to the Farrakhan says, Black lives matter, all lives matter, but until Black lives matter, then no life will matter in the eyes of God. That's the second level of thought I want you to get to, is that everything on the planet should matter as much as you do, right? If you can't get to that level of thought, then your life is only going to be eating cheeseburgers and masturbating. You're never going to really accomplish anything if you don't realize that everything on the planet matters as much as you, from the ant to the plant to the mom to the white man to the black man, whatever. Then the third level of thought, which is the highest level of thought, which is the level of thought I'm trying to get to, which I want everybody else to get to, is I am a God, right? I'm made in the image of the Creator, therefore I am a creator. So that's the third level of thought I'm trying to get you to. So when you see the video and you look at all these multiple dimensions of blackness, I want you to see within yourself the 3 levels of thought. That's why if you watch the video, it's broken into 3 parts. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So that's what I want people to get from it. I know it's only a 5-minute video and most people are going to watch it like, oh yeah, cool, you know what I mean? But for me as the creator, that's what I want you to get. I want you to understand these levels of thought. Like, what level of thought am I at? You know, most people only get to the second level where they do realize everything matters as much as me. But for me as an artist, you know what I mean, me creating with my hands, creating with my mind, I want everybody to have the same joy I feel, right? Which is that third level of existence, which is, you know, I am a God, you know what I mean? And not a God as in like, you know, hail, fire and brimstone and, you know, and Noah's Ark and all that. No, not God in that sense, but a God is in what comes to my mind I can manifest. You know, what comes out of my soul I can make come to fruition, you know. So that's not what you got in the video. It's the multiple dimensions of blackness and the 3 levels of existence.
Okay, so today is June 30th, 2021.
Yes.
Okay, in 2053, who is Qyjon the Icon?
Well, in my dream world, I am like doing an art exhibit once a year, right? I'm older, right? I'm doing an art exhibit once a year. You know, I'm selling pieces for no less than 10,000. All the money that I generate from artist talks, or all the money that I generate from selling art, it goes into a school that I want to create, or a school that I want to be part of, a nonprofit I want to be part of, or we seal non-violent criminal records for at-risk youth. Because that's the goal of all this. The goal of all of my art and the goal of everything that I do is to fix the parts of our systems that are just holding people down unnecessarily. Some of it is just going to be it. You know what I mean? You got to go to school. You got to become a tradesman. You got to go to college. That's not holding nobody back per se, but those things should be affordable. So in 2053, I am funding programs through my art, through my books, through my talks. I'm teaching people how to be creators, and that's what I'm doing. Everything is to help the people, to elevate the people, to bring the people to the next level. And that's what I'm doing in 2053. You know what I mean? Giving back as much as I can before God takes me back.
What do you live by? What are some words, phrases that you live by?
Are you going to kill me? And that's something that I live by. And when you get to that level, because of the life experiences that I've had, you know what I mean? I've come so close to death, or I've been so depressed that you realize what really matters. So sometimes people speak to me and it's like they misinterpret how much I care. So I have to be like, are you going to kill me? Because if not, you need to stop speaking. You know what I mean? I'm out of the conversation, you know. And it should not be that extreme, but that's always in the forefront of my mind because my time is very valuable to me. So if we're arguing over peanuts, and I know that I'm an elephant, okay, I'll go get more peanuts. You know what I mean? Your peanuts don't matter to me. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? Unless you're going to literally stop me from ever getting peanuts again, I have nothing else to say to you. And some people think that that's irrational and crazy, but it's gotten me to a point in life where I'm very happy because people know not to bring things to me that have no relevance. You know what I mean? Or they know I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to keep going. I'm not going to do it. Are you going to kill me? Okay. You know what I mean? But, you know, people threaten you with things. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm not going to do this, man. Okay, don't do it. You know what I mean? You think you're the only person who does X, Y, and Z? Like, you know what I mean? There's 7 billion people on Earth. I will find something else. I will figure it out. None's gonna hold me back, you know? So that's something that I live by, you know what I mean? And do I advise people to live by that? It's not for the weak, you know what I mean? I've lost friends, I've lost relationships, you know what I mean? But it goes through my mind every time I'm in conflict with somebody. Are you gonna kill me? You know what I mean? If not, then I'm gonna do what I originally thought because it's gotten me to this level in life, so. Yeah.
Any last words for future creators, artists?
Any last words? Well, damn, it's in my last will and testament. Yeah, but any final thoughts? I guess it will be well, don't limit yourself to one medium. I will say that. I will say just because you've been rapping for 10 years doesn't mean you can't make clothes. Just because you've been making clothes doesn't mean you can't rap. Just because you rap doesn't mean you can't paint. Just because you paint doesn't mean you can't do collage. I would just say don't limit yourself to one medium because that is one of the most detrimental things I see people do is that they beat their head, you know what I mean, on like whatever, on the ground trying to get something to pop. When really, if you just changed it a little bit, you know, who knows what you would be, you know what I mean? If you just became a singer instead of a rapper, who knows? If you became this, you know what I mean? Or if you became a carpenter rather than just working in IT, you know what I mean? Who knows, you know what I mean? Just go with the flow of your life and don't get stuck in one train of thought or one medium because you don't know how your talents will manifest if you choose to do something differently, you know what I mean? That's my final thought to all the creators. If you consider yourself a creator, don't pick one medium and die in that medium. Who knows, you know what I mean? So that's it.